In terms of how our members feel as far as their concerns if issue 3 passes, I think most people assume that they're going to mainly be concerned with the increased costs for implementing drug-free workplace policies, training, random drug testing, along with increased claims, and that could lead to higher premiums. But not surprisingly, what our members have really been concerned with is the increased risk to their workers. Our members have always been so committed to the safety of their employees. Small businesses really are like families, and there's a genuine concern that we want all employees to go home as safe and as healthy at the end of their shift as they were when they started. If issue 3 is passed, you're going to see folks that don't currently use marijuana that are going to have access to it now that it's passed, and they're going to experiment, and people just don't know how this is going to react in their system. We don't really know how long it stays in your system, so even if they're using on occasion, you might still have more people showing up at work under the influence and putting themselves and their coworkers at risk of injury.
The biggest concern we have is that if issue 3 passes, small employers in particular are going to be confused between the state law and marijuana being legal and the federal law that says marijuana is illegal. Moreover, over time, past 11 to 15 years, employers in the state of Ohio have become accustomed to the Ohio BWC drug-free workplace program. And it's now commonplace for a majority of employers in the state of Ohio to run drug-free workplace programs. Being able to navigate through administering their drug-free workplace program to be compliant with the Ohio BWC and respecting the law is going to be a challenge for them. And we hope to be there to help them navigate through that challenge in the event issue 3 does pass.
My biggest concern with legalized marijuana is in my past history of managing claims, I've only had a couple that I've had where there was a positive marijuana test. While those can be very expensive claims for the employer, there have only been a couple. If marijuana becomes legalized, I see a lot more people trying it out and a lot more people not knowing the effects of how it's going to hit them on a Monday. I think you're going to have way more ways that people are going to be able to induce that drug, and we don't know how long that will have an effect on their body. They don't know how long it'll have an effect on their body, and they'll show up at work with an impairment. Not only does it create a risk for the individual to hurt themselves, but also creates a risk that they're going to hurt a fellow employee. And again, those claims are going to be very difficult to defend. Naturally, the individual who is hurt is going to have a valid claim regardless. You're only going to be able to defend one of those claims, which is the person who is impaired. So I see it creating a lot more work, and it's going to definitely increase the cost of claims and the cost of defending claims.